think I was going to do that. But welcome back to another great episode of Simone with the Sports. Obviously, I'm Simone, bringing you guys the sport. You guessed it. So, guys, if you are new here or if you are old here and just been lurking around, hit the subscribe because I'm trying to get 2K subscribers by the end of the month. So help your girl out, okay? Also, make sure you hit this video with a thumbs up to help out my Eagles algorithm, because most of my videos that the algorithm's been rocking with has been Sixers, but you guys know my first love is the Birds. And when I bleed green. So, guys, also make sure you turn on your notification bells for this Eagles offseason, because this Eagles offseason is going to be a soap opera. And you guys know I love some drama. If you know Moan, you know I love some drama. So let's get into it. Today, obviously, I'm going to be talking about some more coaching profiles. And I'm breaking them down a little bit for you guys. So, obviously, Jeffrey Lurie. And some of you guys have been calling Jeffrey not Jason Gary. Some of y'all have been calling him Jerry Jones. Ooh. Y'all bold. Y'all want to go that far? I know a lot of you guys haven't agreed with Jeffrey's decisions. Obviously, I know all of you guys wonder how we gone. Should that be a conversation for another video? Let me just say this real quick in the beginning. I don't think Howie can mess up a number 6 pick in the draft, because it's one thing to mess up a later pick in the first round, but when you're picking so early in the draft, it's so many, especially in this draft, and especially on a team that has so many positional needs, I don't think he can mess up a number 6 pick, because at that point you're really kind of picking best available, and it's like 10, I would say it's about 10 guys that you can't go wrong with in like the top 10, as long as we don't pick quarterback. But anyway, that might be a combo for another video. Obviously, we'll get to the draft a little bit later, but right now we gotta hire a coach. So Jeffrey Lurie said in his press conference after firing Doug that the new coach who comes in to the Eagles, mind you, give you a little backstory. Jeffrey Lurie, in his tenure, I think this would be the 4th coaching hire for him. I think it was Andy Reid, Chip Kelly, and Doug for him. So this would be the 4th one for him in over 20-some years. So that's not too shabby. Obviously, Chip was like busted, but we gave Chip too much. We gave him too much control. Anyway, let me get back on track before you guys click off. But guys, so obviously Jeffrey Lurie said in his press conference that the team could go, he really wants to focus on the offense this season, like he wants to be an offensive juggernaut. However, that doesn't necessarily mean it has to come from an offensive-minded coach. It could come from a defensive-minded coach as well. So I'm not going to say we're going to pick up somebody's offensive coordinator just off rip, because he did mention it come from a defensive-minded guy. 2, he said that whoever comes in, they're going to have exceptional talent in Carson Wentz or Jalen Hurts. So obviously right now, Carson, I don't think is fully secure, because obviously we reached out to Lincoln Riley, who's Jalen Hurts' old coach. So Carson Wentz is probably a little pissed. Carson pissed. And then also the fact that Jeffrey's still using that language. Like, you didn't have to mention it. You didn't have to name drop either one of them. You could have just said they're going to have exceptional talent, period. Like, you didn't have to say in Carson Wentz or Jalen Hurts. It's just that little language that's just like, come on, dude. You ain't got to say all that. But let's talk about 2 candidates. Let's start with Robert Saleh, okay? Because Eric Bieniemy is going to be the second guy. But I feel like you guys know a lot about Eric Bieniemy. So let me start with Robert Saleh. And I feel like the Eagles are interviewing him today. Saleh, today. They're either interviewing him today, or they interviewed him yesterday, or they interview him tomorrow. But anyway, let me get right into it. So, obviously, the Eagles are late to this pool, because so many teams have already fired their coaches and already been interviewing. So Robert has already interviewed with 5 teams. He is the San Francisco 49ers defensive coordinator. So far, he's already interviewed with the Jags. And let's not forget, he was a former linebacker coach for the Jags. So he does have that tie there, and the Jags do have a little bit probably up. Maybe it could go either way. You know what I mean? He might not want to go back to the Jags. Been there, done that. Or he might be like, okay, I'm finally getting what I want from you, Jags. Go either way. He's also interviewed with the Chargers, the Jets, the Lions, and mind you, he is from Michigan, so the Lions might have a little up there too, because, you know, fam is there, home, you know, Robert might be time for him to come home. You know how they do, Robert. It's time for you to come home. Or Robert could have been like, you know, it's going to be too many old heads. You know, too many people I used to rock with in Michigan. I'm trying to keep it fresh. So it'll go either way for the Lions. Also, he's interviewed with the Falcons. That Falcons been interviewing everybody. So, Saleh was a 2019 Defensive Coordinator of the Year, and he led the 49ers to one of the best defenses in the NFL, okay? They only allowed 281.8 yards, and they were that was the fewest allowed by a defense since 1997. Okay, Saleh? Okay. And obviously, you guys know we fired Jim Schwartz. I still feel like we fired him, but they let him say he retired. Just, you know, sure, say he retired, Jim. But obviously, we got a lot to do defensive wise. So it could, the fact that we got a defensive coordinator coming in, that could be a boost for the Eagles who need a boost on the defense. We had a lot of talented pieces on the defense, but Jim just wasn't able to put them all together the right way. So I think Saleh, a defensive-minded guy, could really help not only the offense, but the defense. And because obviously we have to hire a defensive coordinator, and Saleh would know kind of like what he needs. Also, offensive-wise, we do have Duce Staley, a guy who's been with the Eagles for a long time. He is the running backs. He's the running backs coach. And obviously, Duce knows the offense very well. I mean, he's done great with Miles Sanders. He's done great on the fly with Boston Scott. He done great. I say he done great. You done good. He did great with Darren Sproles, obviously. Corey Clement, obviously Corey Symone. But I'm just saying, like, Duce has done a lot with the little bit he's been given, and he's done a lot with the lot he's been given. He knows the offense well. So having Duce on the offensive side, and then getting a defensive-minded coach could really balance out the Eagles pretty well. Also, interesting about Saleh, he was with the Seattle Seahawks in 2013 during their Super Bowl win. So he also has Legion of Boom experience. So, guys, and that's great because he has the experience with Legion of Boom, but then it also translated with the 49ers. So it wasn't just like, he had all that talent on the boom. He was able, of course he had, a Bosa. But still, Anyways, Robert Saleh would be a great candidate to keep probably in our top 4. Definitely, because that defensive mind, especially since we lost Jim Schwartz, it would be great for us. And then also, I don't really want to hire internally. I think Duce would be great for the offensive coordinator. I just don't want to hire anyone internally for the head coach. So I guess this video is just about to be Robert Saleh. But I don't want to hire just anyone internally for the head coach position just because I think we need a real culture revamp. But let me go ahead and talk about Eric Bieniemy real quick because you guys already know so much about Eric Bieniemy, and most of you guys already jumped in my comments about Eric. Eric is going to be a very, 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 very hot commodity. Okay, and Eric has already been interviewing with several teams as well. He's interviewed with 5 teams. Eric does have big, big, big ties to the Eagles. And mind you, Eric has been the offensive coordinator for 3 years, and he's been passed up as head coach for a couple of, he's been wanting to be the head coach last year. He got passed up, so he's a little bit pissed, and I ain't mad at him because we all know if Eric looked like Caucasian, he would have been a head coach, and that's on period. Especially with Patrick Mahomes in that offense, he would have been a head coach. I'm gonna just say it here, Symone with the physics. Okay? So obviously Eric, he was a former NFL player. He played for the Eagles. Okay, so we do have that big up. He played for the Eagles and he played for Andy Reid. Obviously Andy Reid has big ups for him as an offensive coordinator as well. He keeps singing Eric's praises. I'm ready for Eric just to get hired somewhere, period, because it's past due. Like I said, the man would have been got hired if he was white. Period. So whether we get him, Eric, it's time for that man to get paid. Get paid, young Eric. Get paid. Period. But of course, I would love to see him suiting up in that green. He does have the ties to the Eagles, but guys, we just got to be real with ourselves. The Eagles is not the most favorable spot for a head coach right now. Just all the drama that we created. If I'm a head coach, would I really want to be coming to Philly right now? And especially with our fans, how ruthless we are. And then also seeing the way that Jeffrey Lurie handled the Doug Peterson situation. Not 1,000% sure. I'm gonna be, I want to go Eagles first, especially since so many teams got to Eric first. But anyway, guys, let me know what you think about Robert. Let me know what you think about Eric and these other candidates out there, because there's so many. We're gonna keep talking. We're gonna keep rapping, no capping on this channel. Obviously, I'm gonna be coming to you guys with that draft talk. We're going to talk about that Devonta Smith. We're going to talk about what the Eagles should do at number 6. We're going to talk about what free agents got to go and what free agents can get another round with the Birds. But make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe. Bye.